Hey guys, what's up? I'm Rohit Khurana, host of Intellect Digest, and we have with us the Sony Xperia Z3 or Z3. In this video, I'm going to review this phone in all the important aspects that you want to know about. We'll talk about 10 points related to this phone. We'll talk about the design, build quality. We'll talk about the SIM options, memory options. We'll talk about the display quality, camera test, video playback, audio playback. We'll talk about the gaming performance, benchmarks, specifications. We'll also talk about call quality. Then we'll talk about internet browsing experience, software and user experience of the Sony Xperia Z3. We have also done a series of videos on reasons to buy and not buy Sony Xperia Z3, and we have also done a video on the frequently asked questions about the Sony Xperia Z3. So make sure you check out our other videos as well. I'm leaving some direct links towards the end of the video as well as in the description section below this video. So make sure you check out our other videos as well. Let's get started with this one. I'll start my review with the design and build quality review of the Sony Xperia Z3. It would not be wrong to say that this is the most refined and well-built Sony Xperia Z series phone that I have seen so far. It comes with rounded edges and these are metallic, these are brushed aluminium finish, very solid and they feel really nice. This phone is fairly slim at just over 7mm in thickness, which is really good and feels really nice in hand. It's also lightweight. It is lighter compared to the previous version, which is the Z2. It is just around 152 grams in weight, so it feels really nice and right sized. It has very slim bezels, as you can see. So besides having a large 5.2-inch display, it is still easily usable in one hand. You can reach from edge to edge with a slight stretch, but it is still very easily usable with one hand. You can text easily and you can use the keypads etc. very easily on this phone because of the sheer compactness of this phone besides having a large display. In terms of build quality, it uses really high quality materials. On front you get a shatterproof glass. Sony does not name it to be a Gorilla Glass or something like that. There is also a glass at the back which takes care of the entire rear of the phone, and there is metal on the side. So it's all metal and glass and feels really rich and premium in hand. So in terms of build and design, it is a really nice phone with rounded edges, rounded curves, nice feel in hand, right sort of size as well as form factor. Let me show you around the phone and show you what all ports etc. and what all physical form factor it comes with. So on front you get a 5.2-inch full high definition display. If you're expecting the latest flagship from Sony to have a 2K display, you will be slightly disappointed by knowing that it's just a full high definition and not a 2K compared to the other flagships that we see in the market these days. However, the quality of display is very good. It gets the tri-luminous engine from Sony and it gives really nice color quality. It is an IPS LCD display and the viewing angles are also fairly good. This is set to automatic brightness right now, but still gives good colors. I can put it all the way up and it becomes much brighter and it has increased brightness, so it will give you a much better visibility in outdoors. However, I prefer to keep it in automatic brightness mode because it is more soothing on eyes. On top of the display, you get a front-facing camera which is a 2.2 megapixel followed by some sensors here, standard earpiece, and you will see that there is a large speaker here because when you play music, you can hear the sound from this bottom speaker as well as the top speaker. So you have dual front-firing speakers. Now they are as good as any competing phone. They are comparable to the HTC One M8. I would not say as good, but they are very comparable. Unlike the Z2, these are much louder and clearer. I'll demonstrate the same to you in the music or audio playback section in the following section. On the right side of the phone, you have this flap which covers the micro SD card as well as the SIM card slot. You can add up to 128 GB micro SD card to this phone. It accepts a nano SIM unlike the micro SIM on the Z2. There is signature steel finished stainless steel power or wake up key on the right hand side that we see in the other Xperia, and it has not let go of that premium feature. It does feel really good. There is metal finished, very tactile volume rocker key just below that, and there is a physical camera key just provided just below that. And this key makes all the difference in the user experience when it comes to using camera. You just long press on that and from the lock screen it directly takes you to the camera application and you are ready to click. It's very fast and it works seamlessly. There is no problem whatsoever when it comes to using this hardware key. The bottom is fairly clean. The microphone has been included somewhere within this mesh. On the right hand side you have this small indent provided to add a lanyard. There is a docking connector which is provided, which can be used to dock it on a charging dock as well as in cars. So there are in-car entertainment systems by Sony which will dock this phone. On this side you also have a smaller flap, this time much cleaner compared to the previous generation, nicely rounded, and this houses the micro USB port for charging as well as data syncing. It is fairly neat. On top you have the standard 3.5mm audio port followed by the secondary mic hole for noise cancellation. Now when we are talking about the design of this phone, I must not forget to mention that this is IP68 certified, dust and water resistant. Yes, you can keep it underwater for a depth of around 1 meter for up to 30 minutes and it will not be damaged. All these open ports that you see, which includes the 3.5mm audio, and the speakers are insulated from inside, so they will not cause any water damage. Make sure you keep these flaps closed, which are for the SIM card as well as charging port, when you are planning to take it in water, in rain or underwater on a swimming pool. On the rear of the phone we get Xperia branding at the bottom, there is Sony branding in the middle, NFC logo, which is interesting. I have seen it on many Sony phones. There is a 20.7 megapixel or approximately 21 megapixel G sensor by Sony, which is a large sensor size and produces some really good quality results. There is also a tiny LED flash which has been provided at the rear, which is also fairly powerful. Let me spend a few seconds talking about the display of this phone. The display here is very rich, very good, and gives you really good color saturation. It uses the X Reality engine for Sony, and you can toggle it to the super vivid mode, X Reality mode, which is equivalent to giving you the most natural colors. You can also turn it off in case you want it. I prefer it in X Reality mode for mobile, which gives clear and vibrant colors. It also gives you an option to tap to wake this phone, which you need to enable from here because it is not by default enabled. What it means is that when the phone is locked, you tap on the display and it will wake up the phone, which is a very slick and very neat and usable feature. The color quality on the display is very nice and the colors come out really alive. These are some of the gallery shots just to give you an idea of how rich and vivid the colors are. The display brightness is not set to very high, but still the colors and the overall color production on this phone is really premium as well as precise. It is very close to reality. You will get a better idea of the display clarity and quality in the gaming section, which is following very soon. Before we get into gaming and other sections, let me take some time to talk about the camera, give you an idea of the camera quality. The camera sensor here is the G sensor, which we saw on the Sony Xperia Z2 as well, and this one also does not disappoint us, just like the previous generation. It has two-stage physical shutter button, which means that you can half press it to lock the focus and then full click to take the picture. It comes with a lot of modes that we have seen in the previous generation as well. By default it is in superior auto mode. You can put it to manual mode, sound and photo, the virtual reality mode, multi-camera. You can also add external Sony cameras and take pictures. It also supports 4K video recording, time shift burst. You can directly stream on YouTube, background defocus, AR effect, creative effect, time shift burst in which it takes a lot of shots together. So it is pretty loaded when it comes to the camera capability, and I have tested some of these modes and found them to be really interesting as well as effective. They produce good quality results. Now let me quickly show you the front facing camera quality as well. This is a 2.2 megapixel front facing camera and this is me shooting this video for you. Hi there. So it takes really good pictures with the front facing camera as well. Let me quickly give you a shot here. So this is a shot which I have just clicked right in front of you, and as you can see the quality comes out to be nice, and the clarity of this camera or the front facing camera is also fairly good. It does produce good pictures, good results, so it is really nicely equipped for selfies. So the camera on the Sony Xperia Z3 does not disappoint. In fact, it works as well compared to the Sony Xperia Z2. But let me talk about one very important aspect about this camera, which I believe has improved a lot compared to the previous version, which is the 4K video recording. With the Sony Xperia Z2, we observed that it used to get hot and the camera would crash while using the 4K video feature, and in this version it actually gives you a warning beforehand. It says if the device temperature rises, the app may close during the use, but recording will be saved automatically, which is good. It will show you a warning, but it does not get that hot as it used to get on the Sony Xperia Z2. This time they have improved the thermal heat dissipation as well as controlled the heat generation, so it produces 4K videos in better quality compared to the previous generation, and it does not get heated up as much. Although you will feel some heat in this region, probably the processor or GPU is here, so it does heavy processing while it is in 4K video recording mode. However, if you are in outdoors shooting this video in already high ambient temperatures, it may still heat up and the camera app may still crash or close itself while you are shooting 4K videos. This is a known problem and Sony is aware of it, which is why they have provided a warning this time. Let me show you a video playback test, and before that I'll turn the volume to maximum to give you an idea of how loud the front firing speakers are. I'll stream a video directly from YouTube in high quality to give you an idea of how smooth the video viewing experience is.
Hi, what's up? I'm Rohit Khurana, host of Intellect, and in this video I'm going to answer a much awaited query which has been asked to me over and over again. Which Android One phone to buy? I have all three with me for over a week now.
In my opinion, the quality of audio as well as video is really good. You can bump up the brightness if you like. I have kept it to automatic mode, which reduces the brightness somewhat, but if you bump up the brightness it becomes really bright, as you can see here. So it's a really interesting as well as pleasing device when it comes to video consumption on the Sony Xperia Z3. After we have seen the video playback, let me give you an audio playback test and show you how well the audio comes out to be on this phone. So I'll play a few tracks for you to show you how loud it is. I have turned the volume to maximum before I start this test. I believe that it is fairly loud, and now it comes with some additional sound effects as well as enhancement for your music, and you can enable this DSEE-HX option, which will increase the audio quality from the compressed music like the MP3 tracks and will give you better audio quality. You can select the kind of headphones that you are using so that it gives you better overall audio quality. You can select by the model number that you are using or put it to general in case it is not listed here. Now let's talk about another important factor. When you are buying a flagship phone, you expect it to be top notch in terms of performance, specifications and gaming. So in this section I'll give you a quick gameplay demo on Asphalt 8 Airborne, which is a very heavy graphics game. I'll also run Frontline Commando 2 and Dead Trigger 2 to show you how well the graphics come out to be. After that we'll run the Antutu benchmarks as well as the Nina Mark II benchmarks to give you a fair idea of how well this phone performs compared to the competition. As you can see, the graphics are rendering super smooth. There is no lag whatsoever in this game. The rendering, color quality as well as the audio is also fairly loud. So I really like the way it is playing this game. Let's move to our next game, which is the Frontline Commando 2, and see how it fares there. This is the Frontline Commando 2, and as you can see, this frames are really smooth. It's rendering the frames really smooth here. I'm able to aim precisely and shoot precisely. It was smooth and easy and it played really well. This is the Dead Trigger 2 which we are playing on this, and as you can see, the graphics are rendering super smooth. There are reflections, glossiness and very vivid details which we can see on this display. It works really well, and I'm really impressed by the way it is rendering graphics here. It's moving super smooth. It would not be wrong to say that it is one of the best performing graphics phone when it comes to flagships. It is one of the top performing phones on AnTuTu. It is powered by a Snapdragon 801 chipset, which is among the fastest that you can get in the market today, and it scores around 41,288, and not many phones are above this. If you see the comparison charts, you will see that it is easily in top 3 or 4 devices with the Galaxy S5, the Note 3, HTC One M8T. Some of these devices which are in this range, it scores 41,288, which is just awesome. It runs at a clock speed of 2.5 GHz. It has quad cores or 4 cores of 2.5 GHz, each 3 GB of RAM, and this one gets around, let me get out of here and show you the storage settings to give you an idea of how much memory you get. So the total user available storage on the 16 GB model is 11.57 GB. But one very interesting factor about this phone is that you can expand the memory by adding a 128 GB SD card, and apart from that you can also connect a standard USB OTG pen drive to this, and you can watch your multimedia directly from the pen drive. As soon as you attach, it will detect the pen drive and you can watch media like movies, videos and anything stored on the pen drive directly on your device without need to transfer anything onto the device. Let me also give you Nina Mark II benchmark score, which is the graphics benchmark. It is powered by Adreno 330 GPU and gives a perfect score of 59.6 frames per second, which is close to 60 frames per second. That's the maximum score that you get on this tool. So in terms of graphics, it is fully loaded, and I don't think that there is a game that you cannot play on this phone, because it does play all the Android Play Store games very well and with ease without showing any sort of stutter or any sort of lag. Next important aspect of any smartphone is the call quality. It uses 2 microphones, one on the top and one down here, to do the noise cancellation which is required to give you clear audio, and the call clarity is really good and it is not disappointing at all. Let me give you a demo. Hello. Testing call quality on the Sony Xperia Z3. As you can see, the call quality is coming out to be really nice on this, and there is no problem when it comes to the audio or the call quality. The signal reception is also fairly strong, and we have used it for 3G tethering as well as calling, and there has been no problem when it comes to the call quality on this phone. Let me also talk about the battery life on this phone. This phone gets a 3100 mAh battery, which seems smaller compared to the 3200 that we had on Z2. But interestingly, it has improved on the battery life compared to the Z2 because of the better optimized chipset, overall better optimized operating system, because it has latest Android KitKat 4.4.4. This phone is running for more than 1 day. Already it is 44% charged, and it is showing me an estimated usage of 2 days and 1 hour. Let me show you the battery usage graph here. I have not been using it very aggressively, but on and off the 3G was on all the time and the Wi-Fi was also on, so it was hooked to one of the networks all the time. And as you can see, it is already up for 1 day, 9 hours and 39 minutes on not so heavy usage, and it is giving me a good battery life. It is lasting for over 2 days, which means that if you are an aggressive user, it will still give you 1 full day of battery life without any troubles or stutter. Another important feature of any smartphone is the internet browsing experience. It comes preloaded with Google Chrome browser inbuilt, and it does not give any problem when it comes to rendering of pages or loading the pages. Right now this is rendering very smooth. This is an image heavy website. It is the homepage of Intellect Digest, and as you can see, the scrolling is very smooth. The pinch to zoom action is very fast, and you can see the slider, which is the image slider on top, is also performing really well. And the performance during the internet browsing, it does not disappoint at all. The clarity of the display as well as the performance of the graphics as well as processor work great as a team and give you a really good graphics experience when it comes to internet browsing. Now let me talk about the software experience or the user experience on this phone. It runs Android KitKat 4.4.4, which is the latest version right out of the box. And it is expected that Sony will launch the Android L update for this. Since it's running the latest version, it is well optimized on the Android core, and on top of it, you have the Timescape UI by Sony. And this UI is fairly fast. It is not laggy compared to some of the competitors that we have seen. And it does give you a clean and smooth iconography, a very fast user experience, and some really cool features like these pop-up applications. You have these small applications which can run in the pop-up mode, and it includes some application like the Gmail, etc. So you can run these applications when you hit this multitasking bar, hit here, you can now run Gmail in pop-up mode. You can also run calculator, some other applications which are very useful in pop-up mode. So if you need to do some quick calculation, you have your calculator, you have screen capture mode, and one very interesting feature which has been added to this: when you long press on the power key, you see these options of power off, airplane mode, etc. This time you also get take screenshot and record screen, which means that it will allow you to record screencast videos, which is really interesting, and you don't get this on many phones. There are hardly any phones in the world which give you this feature. This is right now recording whatever I'm doing here with my audio that I'm speaking here, and you can see these recordings. You can also put the front camera on while you are recording these captures. So I can quickly stop this and show you the recording. So I can go back here. This is the screencast which I have recorded right in front of you. 1+1 from OnePlus, and this is right now recording whatever I'm doing here with my audio that I'm speaking here, and you can. So here you have it, my review of the Sony Xperia Z3. In all departments, it does really well, except one, which is the pricing, which is on the higher side. There are a few downsides of this phone, which are missing 2K display, and a few more things that we have detailed in our reasons to not buy a Sony Xperia Z3 video. So do check out the other videos as well. In my overall opinion, I'll give it 9 out of 10 because of the excellent feature set as well as the overall usability experience and the performance it offers you. In case you want to purchase this phone, I'll leave some direct links in the description below this video as well as on your screen, so you can buy it for the best deals that are available online. We have also done a series of videos on Sony Xperia Z3 with reasons to buy, reasons to not buy, frequently asked questions, and much more on the Sony Xperia Z3. So do check out the other videos as well. I'm leaving some direct links in the description section as well as on your screen. So do check out those videos as well. This is all we have on this one. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up by pressing the like button below. For more such videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button. This is your host Rohit Khurana signing off. Thanks for watching.